Hi, my name is Jen Gregory, and today I will be discussing feedback and the role of automated essay scores in the classroom. Before I begin, I would like everyone to take a look at the quote by Brian Tracy. Life is like a combination lock. Your job is to find the right number in the right order so you can have anything you want. In your groups, discuss how this quote pertains to feedback within your classrooms. Through analyzing the quote, we can compare a combination lock to student writing and feedback. When a person is given a lock, they need the correct combination of numbers in order for the lock to open. The same concept applies to student writing. In student writing, in order for students to unlock new ways to improve their writing, they too need a correct combination of numbers. In this case, numbers refers to feedback. Feedback gives students tools and strategies that will help them to improve their writing. Now, in your groups, I would like you to define feedback. I would also like you to discuss what feedback means to the teacher and what it means to the student. According to the article, What Feedback Do Students Want?, feedback is defined as the information provided by an agent regarding one's performance or understanding. Feedback, thus, is a consequence of performance. The article also states that feedback provides information about the gap of actual performance and desired performance. What does this mean to the average person, however? Feedback provides the teacher, the student, and the student's parents insight into how the student writes. Feedback tells everyone the student's strengths and the student's weaknesses and what they can do to improve. According to the text Classroom Assessment, feedback is also a function of formative assessments. In your group, discuss the role of formative assessments in your classrooms and what kind of formative assessments you use. According to James H. McMillan in Classroom Assessment, formative assessments is a type of assessment in which student performance is evaluated, providing feedback to students and adjusting instructional strategies. It is both informal and formal. Formative assessments are things such as nonverbal behavior, quizzes, homework, in-class assignments, benchmark tests, oral questioning, and even exit slips. In your groups, I would now like everyone to discuss the importance of feedback. Why do teachers use feedback? Feedback is important to use in school because it clarifies good performance, it facilitates self-assessment, it encourages teacher and peer dialogue, it encourages positive motivation, it closes the gap between current and desired performance, and provides teachers information to help change instruction. Before I begin, I would like everyone to begin working on activity number 1, which you received at the beginning of this workshop. So, what makes feedback effective? Well, in order for feedback to be effective, it must be specific, it must indicate progress, it must be spontaneous, it must be immediate, and it must provide corrective action. In this video clip, effective feedback is further discussed and how to correctly implement it in your classrooms.
Even if you followed all of my advice, you still could be giving feedback the wrong way. Let me give you an example. So let's say you are having students complete a project for you. They're supposed to put from scratch together a birdhouse. And this is the birdhouse that you get from one of the students. And, looking at it, there's, lots and lots of issues with this birdhouse. The colors are all off. What you suggested, the painting is terrible. It's not weatherproofing the wood. The roof is crooked. And the hole for the birdhouse is way too big, so that means that squirrels will get inside, tons of details. So what you could do is basically just, tear this thing apart. Just judge it, right? You can just judge it. And that's the one thing you really want to move away from when you're giving feedback is judging. When I went to university, I got this feedback on a lot of my projects. Confusing. Misdirecting. What does that mean? You have to give people, don't pass judgment. What you're there to do is to improve the quality of that product. So, if I gave all the feedback about this particular project to the student, it would be very hard for them to distinguish, especially for a novice, which parts they should actually focus on. While really, the most important part here is maybe making it structurally sound. So that's the first thing I might tackle with the student, and walks away with one thing, and they're able to do that thing well. What is that one thing? Well, I know that if I give feedback about the structure of the house, and the first thing I want to do is not have the student learn how to paint the colors right on a rooftop of a birdhouse, but I want them for it to be structurally, stable. Then that's what I focus on in my first feedback. We tend to overwhelm our learners with everything, and then they don't have the experience to be able to step back and see, look at all these grammar and punctuation errors. I'm going to fix them now instead of, did I actually build a good argument in this thesis? So what's most important? It doesn't mean that the things that you're commenting on are more important than others, but in order for us to get to a level of mastery with anything, we have to start somewhere, and you have to think about what are the most important aspects and qualities and skills to build before we can get there. That's why I think the other thing, after talking about essentials, is resubmission. We don't offer that enough. So providing feedback is one thing, but are you giving people opportunity to integrate that feedback that they received to produce a better product? Imagine this birdhouse. I mean, I've had so many projects even in school as a little kid where you hand it in and you get to feel bad about that birdhouse you made for the rest of your life because nobody ever gave you a chance to go back and try it again. Give them a chance to take the feedback that you've given them and incorporate it and build on those skills that they already have, because this shows some skill. It kind of looks like a birdhouse, right? So give that opportunity for them to integrate that feedback from you, the expertise, but make it focused so that they can walk away knowing it.
After learning about feedback and effective feedback, I would like you now to begin working on activity number 2. Besides discussing effective feedback, the video discusses the concept of resubmission. Resubmission is a difficult task that many teachers are unable to do because of time constraints. Well, there might be a solution. It's called the Automated Essay Scorer. In 1973, Ellis Page programmed the first automated essay scorer, Project Essay Grade. Ellis realized that with new standards came more writing assignments, and with more writing assignments, the pile of papers on teachers' desks continued to pile up. As a result, Ellis Page instituted his Project Easy Grade. The results were impressive, but were far too primitive for the time. The use of the automated essay grader was not seen again until the 1990s. So why might a teacher use an automated essay grader in the classroom? Well, they provide objective results. Results are rapid and appropriate, which has a strong positive effect on student work. They help struggling writers, they refine students' writing skills, and they help to master content. Studies have been conducted to determine the reliability and accuracy of automated essay graders. Student scores on essays that were done by automated essay scores and human scores were compared. As a result, it was determined that there is a high correlation between human graders and automated graders. Automated essay scorers, however, assign higher grades than human graders. After using the automated essay grader, many students will improve their scores from their pre-test to their post-tests. Automated essay scorers will detect issues in grammar, usage, mechanics, sentence structures, word usage, and style. Although automated essay scorers seem like a really great idea, there are some stipulations. Feedback is not specific. They misinterpret the student's writing. For example, when is a door not a door? The answer would be when it is a jar. But if the student wrote when it is a jar, the computer would not be able to pick up on this. The automated essay scorer cannot provide feedback on the student's ability to answer the prompt. In addition, students are awarded higher scores if their essays are longer. I would now like everyone to begin working on activity number 3. So, some conclusions about the automated essay score. Automated essay scores may be more beneficial if they are used only to provide student feedback rather than grading the student's work. If teachers are given the opportunity to have an automated essay score in the classroom, they should allow students time to use it to check their work before it is graded. Automated feedback machines are able to help students with mechanics, grammar, sentence structure, word choice, and usage. These machines help motivate students to continually revise their papers before submission. Although the automated essay score does not give accurate feedback 100% of the time, this resource will help to minimize grading. Here is a video that will go in more depth about automated essay scoring.
The Pearson Test of English Academic is using automated scoring, and we've decided to use it for two main reasons. First reason is that it allows us to have a fast turnover. The results will be available within 5 business days or even faster. And that is something which candidates like. They like to have the results back fast, but also the receiving institutes, sometimes, they really need results from candidates that they want to accept really fast. So everybody will be happy with faster turnaround. The second reason, which is probably more important, is that the results will be more trustworthy, they will be more reliable, and they will be more objective. Because any pair of human raters who are going to evaluate a candidate are going to have some differences in opinion about this candidate. Especially if you think of the situation of international testing. Human raters, human markers who are living in China, they have not such a difficult task in understanding students from China trying to speak English. But somebody who has never been to China and who has never heard Chinese speakers using English, they will have a different opinion about this language. We also see that some teachers, especially, have different opinions about what is important in scoring. And however much you try to instruct them, some will always be influenced by the pronunciation. And when you are asking them to score the fluency, then they're in fact scoring pronunciation. When they hear a foreign accent and they see, well, probably the grammar will not be okay either. And so it is very difficult for human raters to have an opinion which is objective, which is stable, and which stays the same across all ratings. With the machine, that is not a problem.
I hope all of you have enjoyed this workshop on feedback and the automated essay score. Here is a list of sources that were used in order to help me create this workshop. For more information about feedback or the automated essay score, please feel free to visit any one of these sites. In the next workshop, we will be going over the results of every study that was about the automated essay score. In preparation, I would like all of you to read the article, Evidence for the Interpretation of Use of Scores from an Automated Essay Score. You will write a brief reaction to the article. Describe how your students might react if you will then write a brief reaction to the article. You will describe how your students will react to an automated essay score. Describe the student's strengths and weaknesses in writing and how this system will help to improve student writing. You will then have your class write 2 constructive responses, topics of your choosing. The first response you will grade. The second response you will allow them to input into an automated essay grader. Then you will grade the response. You will compare their work. Be ready to share your findings for the next workshop. The link to an essay grader is seen right here. Thank you and have a wonderful day.